Okay, so this is the latest painting that I've been working on in a series that I am calling my American Expat series. And this one, I guess I'm just going to title it Evening News. But I have been doing a time-lapse video of my process of this working on this painting from the very beginning. It's not quite done yet. I still have a few more details to work out, and who knows? I might change a few more things around. But it's at the point now that I think I can go ahead and publish my time lapse of what I did to get to this point. So let's go ahead and take a look at the time lapse, and I'll talk a little bit more about this painting and maybe some of my others while the time lapse is going. Okay, so I've already sort of marked in some points to make sure I have my proportion right on everything, and just to sketch out the basic composition before I start any sort of serious painting. And right now I'm just sort of putting down like a base color in the background, and as you'll see as this painting progresses, it will change quite a bit. I will the way I work is whenever I do a painting, I will paint over whatever the first layer of paint is that I put down. As you can see, I'm putting a second layer over my background right now, but I will usually put several layers of paint down. So when I have the basic composition and everything set out, and most of the components of a painting down, that's really just the beginning. I end up painting over several times, and in this case, I just am playing around with the color a little bit, and trying to see what will work best for the mood that I'm trying to create in this painting. Color is a great way to sort of manipulate the mood of a painting, and as you can see, I'm getting the background a lot darker. And even now, after I paint in the dog, I will end up going back and working over the background a bit more, and the stripes in the foreground. I'll paint over those mainly just to put a little bit more form in them, and also to get it away from the intense red. I'm going to introduce a little bit of a yellow to give it more of an orangish off red sort of overall hue to the flag, but mainly just introducing a little bit of green to create a bit more form in the flag. But that'll come later in the painting. Right now, I'm just sort of putting in the basics of the form of the dog, and just sort of a base layer now on what's going to be the newspaper. And actually, at this point, when I started the painting, I wasn't really quite sure what publication I was going to have that be. I was thinking it was going to be probably the New York Times, but possibly the Wall Street Journal, and maybe even something like the National Enquirer. I felt like the National Enquirer was going to be a little bit too heavy-handed. But anyway, at this point, I decided it was going to be the New York Times. And as you see, I flipped it upside down so that I could put in paint in the basics for the print right side up for me. But then ultimately, I'll flip it back around and so that the headline, the New York Times will be upside down, so that the viewer will be seeing it upside down. However, the dog would be able to read it right side up from his mouth. And by the way, this is I consider this a self-portrait. A lot of the paintings I do, even when it's not an image of myself, a direct image of myself, I a lot of times consider most of my paintings really, or at least a lot of them, self-portraits. And in this case, this is a self-portrait of myself as an American expat living here in Mexico, and still sort of keeping up with the news that's coming from the United States, and trying to make a little bit of sense out of it, what sense can be made of it. And so this is just this painting is really just sort of a humorous take on my perspective of being an American expat observing what's going on in the United States right now. And I'm hoping that no matter what your political persuasion, whether you lean a little bit left, a little bit right, that you can at least find a little bit of humor in in this work of art. So, and actually, I think a little bit of humor is kind of what we need. Not that the issues that we're dealing with in the United States right now aren't serious. I think they are indeed very serious issues. And the thing is, people on no matter what your perspective, whether you're leaning right or leaning left, I think a lot of people think that they're very serious issues, no matter which side of the debate you might be on. But I think that my perspective is that if we're going to really come up with any kind of intelligent discourse and come up with any kind of solutions, we need to, first of all, realize that the political discourse is serious, but not as serious as friends and family. And if you're like me, most people I think are you've got friends and family that see things differently. And I think that if we put friends and family first, even as serious as these political issues are, it might help us maybe come to some sort of resolution about where our country really should be heading. So yeah, and as you can see, I'm nearing completion now. I'm putting in, creating that form in the stripes there, as you can see at the bottom. And I'm going to go in again and rework the background a little bit more, playing with some of the hues. And I'm still not sure if I've quite got them right or not. So I still may go in and do a bit more tweaking as far as color and things like that. But I'm at the point now in the painting where I think that whatever changes I make now are going to be minimal and probably wouldn't make that much of an impact on the time lapse. But I never really feel like I'm completely done with any painting. I'll go back even after years sometimes and sort of rework and tweak painting. So here we are. I'm almost done. So let's just see this through. I'm going to go in and touch up the newspaper a little bit, get a little more form into that, and then I'm like I said, I'm not done yet. I'm going to go in and work on definitely work on the body of the dog a little bit more, because that's still a little rough, and I need to work out some details in that. But for the most part, I'm done. Let's see. Yep, still working on the text in the newsprint. And yeah, so all in all, this painting took me about 3 days. So here it is. I hope you like it.